Previously on Talk That Talk. So that 05 MD was a different MD.
Yeah,
That was like, it was like 15 snares or something like that. Like,
yeah. I mean, like I said, it all depends on, like
It
I
was
said,
12, yo, 12.
it all depends on, because I mean, like I said, long as you know how to make the music what it is. At the end of the day, just because we're going out there cranking and everything like that, music still has one important thing, and that's emotion. That's emotion. And what we learn as music majors is what? The doctrine of affections. If you're sitting out there and you're just blurting out music, then you're not going to get the affection that they worked and practiced for that whole time. Like, they don't know what we go in and what we do in the band hall and everything like that, how many hours we done spent on song and everything like that. But for you to go out there and just blankly not even try to entertain the dynamics or get the whole picture behind it, like that's the clarity of it. Like, when the bass drums need to be loud, they need to be loud. And damn it, you better be loud. But when I don't need you to be loud, you better be as quiet as a church mouse. Because you got to learn balance. You got to learn that. Because if you can learn that in drumline, you can learn that in the percussion ensemble. You can learn that percussion ensemble, you can learn that in any ensemble. If you can learn that in a band setting, you can learn that when you go into your next job. Sometimes it ain't about the loudest mouth in the room. It's about the smartest one. So if you got a smart mentality and going into that, like, hey man, like, I really like that trombone part. Hey man, bring that down. Oh, it's us and the tubas. Oh, it's us and dog team. Come on, let's get it. Let's get it. It's time to shine. Bust their head or not, like I say, 2 and 4 and busting head. Sometimes they complain about we play too much. Sometimes they do this and everything like that. One thing, what I would say to all the people that complain about that, especially band directors, if you want a song to sound a certain way, how about you start writing that music for us? How about you put that on paper? And also, I got another thing. If you need somebody to write music, you can hit me up at Trice Percussion. You can hit me in my DM. I do write song parts. I do arrange music, and I do put drum parts on that thing. And I send the MP3. Let me know. But if you want us to do a certain thing and then you complain about it, I mean, you went to school for arranging too, so you can write that drum part too. I write drum parts on all my arrangements for band. So,
did you just do a shameless plug?
definitely. I was on a
shameless plug. I sure was. He beat me to it.
I mean, God dang, I was gonna give everybody their time at the end of the show, but you kind of came in a little early. Let's do this. Let's go to Mr. Barry. Then I want to go to Quan, and then Cushion.
Well, the cool thing about this is I've been stressing this for day one. I come from a core background. I marched at a high school called Destron High School that took, we went to the DCI competitions, and my whole life I wanted to go to Southern University. So, that's two different dynamics, of course. But man, you put me in front of a core, my eyes are glued to that percussion section, man. It's glued to it. And, and I think that's why I appreciated Jackson State even in the 90s, because they were a little more technical, back in the day with their chops. And then, of course, having Mr. Bethea as my percussion instructor, that really gave me an appreciation of percussion as a whole. So when I see $1 Million Funk Squad, I'm like, man, that's my cousins over there. You know what I'm saying? When I see NCAT at the Honda, I'm like, man, y'all boys, y'all all right, bro. And then they like, man, we mess with y'all too. So that, we just got to appreciate each other, man. And, understand if it don't sound good, it don't sound good. I don't care who it's coming from. If it's jacked up, it's jacked up. But if it's tight, man, humble yourself and give that school their props. No matter what, I teach a school right now, high school with tonals. But you ain't gonna see no tonal at Jackson State. But guess what? I love making melodies with the bass line. You know what I'm saying? So as a percussionist, I'm the one, bro. Look, if it sounds good, it sounds good. I don't care if it's MEAC, swag, it don't matter. DCI, I'm all for it, bro. So, when my students come to me, I shut that mess down. Especially my black students, man, the white boy stuff, man. Look, I come from that. I got a full paid scholarship because I played that. You know what I'm saying? So that's part of who I am. I wanted to go to St. Edna Carr, but I didn't live out there. So I'm grateful to this day that I marched at a high school that taught me how to play concert band and timpanis. And, so I can't knock what's up north because I come from that. You know what I'm saying? But I still know how to stay true what I was taught at Jackson State too. One thing that Bethea did and still does, every song got to feel like the song. We got to make that drum section sound like a kid. And that's what I fell in love with. It wasn't just a shot gloom bloom. You know what I'm saying? He wrote Janet Jackson, Pleasure Principle. And I'm like, man, this is fire. For a swag school to be grooving like this, man, I fell in love with that. And that's something to this day that I preach. Go listen to the dang old song. Don't just make your own tenor bass part. Listen to the song. I would change a drum part in a second. Man, go listen. I don't care if it's a new trap beat. Listen to the song. You know what I'm saying? So I love it, man. My brothers at NCAT, Mr. Bethea is still my guy. I wouldn't be who I am today if I wasn't brought up by that man. You know what I'm saying? So I give respect. And now he's the director of bands at Norfolk. So you know what I'm saying? Like, man, that's all love, man. It's all love. That's why you'll never see me having to tear you down because I have a strong foundation, and I know who I am. So I'm going to support the next man. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what school you go to. I don't have to tear you down, bro. So I don't care if it's NCAT. I got a brother, Jarrell at North Carolina. What that is, Central. You know what I'm saying? He came down, brought his kids to the Jackson State camp. Same thing. You're a whole nother style, but your kids interested in my school. Guess what? I'm going to support what you're doing, and I'm going to support these kids to get to this next level if this is where they want to come to. I just sent Quincy, a kid to you, Mr. Davis. What's Quincy last? Quincy Williams played quads. That was one of the kids.
Yeah, Williams.
Yep. So
Williams.
I got kids at Southern. I got kids at LSU. I got kids all over the place. I'm never going to deny a child because I'm biased on a style.
And shout out to Mr. Bethea, because I'm gonna tell you that was the same thing that he told me in our percussion class. The first thing he told us, go listen to it. Don't just make up a whole bunch of parts. Go listen to what's actually happening. If you want to hear a fire, and I'm pretty sure all MD during that time can agree with this. If you want to hear a fire percussion part, dog, and Love Goes On percussion part, that is probably one of the coldest percussion parts I've ever heard in my life. And it is all written. And I remember going into his office and seeing all the writing on the paper, like every single mark on it. Oh my gosh. All right.